Thank you for starting the recording. I totally forgot to do that. And it's great that we are recording this service because we save them in our YouTube channel and you can revisit it or you can invite a friend to catch the inspiration that they didn't get to see the first time. And we know that there's only now. And so when you watch it later, you're just extending this now moment and all of that energy is still available and present. So I welcome you to come back and watch the YouTube channel. You can get to that on our website. So, want to share a little bit about today's service. We're going to start with some meditation, and then we'll go into our Namaste mission statement, our God shot, and then our main teaching. And after the main teaching, if there's any questions, we'll open up for a little Q&A and we'll get started. So, first, let's have some meditation. So, let's take a deep breath of love and gratitude. Get settled into our seats. Allow your eyes to gently close. And keep breathing in love. Keep breathing in gratitude. And just exhaling any worries or doubts, any concerns. Just letting it all fall away. Or letting it be easy. Tuning in to our higher selves, to spirit, to love. And as we continue to breathe and relax, we picture a ball of light, bright white light, in the center of our chest. Ball of light is the size of a tennis ball. And as we place our attention on it, it begins to expand, filling our chest with brilliant, beautiful white light. And this light continues to expand, fills our torso up into our neck and head. White light flowing down our shoulders into our arms and hands. This beautiful light continues to expand, flowing through the body, through our torso midsection, down into our hips, filling our legs, our knees, our calves, ankles, feet, and toes, all filled with bright white light. Our entire physical body is one with this light. Every cell, atom, and electron of our being soaked and saturated in this wondrous, brilliant, beautiful light that expands beyond the body into the auric field, creating an orb 3 feet around us filled with light. And this light expands even beyond filling the room, filling the building that we're in, flooding out into the street. White light expanding through our neighborhood, our, our town, our state, our country, seeping into the ocean and instantaneously enveloping the planet, uniting every living being in this light. How good it is to know ourselves as light. And so we continue to breathe and relax into this unifying light, sending love to ourselves and to each other and all over the world. Let's take a couple of moments in silence, sharing this love, sharing this light, sending it all over the world. how good it is to know ourselves as light. We are the light. We are the light of the world. Mother, Father, God, infinite intelligence, all that there is. How grateful I am to join together in our beloved Inspire spiritual community, connecting to each other, to spirit, to all of life, remembering our oneness and perfection, remembering our divinity, remembering that we are love, we are light, we are peace, we are freedom, we are wholeness. We are all the goodness of God. And so we release now anything that makes us feel anything other than that. We release any fear, worries, or doubts, anything that's been concerning us, we let it go now. Anything that would keep us from being fully present here and now, we place it on the altar. And we remind ourselves of the truth. We remind ourselves that everything is working in divine order, that there is only one, and we are that. We bless the service. We know that it is perfect. We know that Spirit speaks through us and as us, and that everything that needs to be shared is shared. Everything that needs to be heard is heard. It is all given and received in love. And we bless Reverend Magally. We bless Reverend Carlton and everyone present, every member of the Inspire Spiritual Community, past, present, and future. We're so grateful for the opportunity to come together in love and harmony. We release this word and we allow it to be, and so it is. Okay, so I have a couple other announcements I'd like to make before we continue on. I want to thank the service committee at Inspire, Reverend Tom, Tamra, Garrick, Tara, and Sydney, and also invite you if you would like to participate in helping us prepare and produce services or any other parts of the Inspire operation. There's lots of different things that are available to support with, and we would love to have you. So just send us an email or you can reply to your service reminder. Also, we want to get together this summer. We want to have some fun activities. So if you're interested in helping us plan out what those might be, please let us know because we're looking to put a couple of people together for a committee for activities. So please let us know if you're interested in that. And if there's something that you'd like to do this summer, we'd love to hear your ideas as well. We'd really enjoy getting together and we will have a couple of social activities. So please stay tuned and join us for that. And with that, I am going to hand it over to our own Reverend Tom for our mission statement and namaste. Reverend Tom.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Happy Memorial Day for tomorrow, but the weekend here. And next week, West Hollywood Pride and the Pride Month coming up. So we look forward to celebrating with you. Anyway, our namaste, we put our hands on our chest in a prayer position. We bow forward, bringing our hands to our lips, to our forehead, back down to our lips and our chest. And we bow forward, saying namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you. So our mission statement is it's supposed to be on the screen, but anyway. Mission statement is Inspire is a spiritual community of like-minded souls committed to walking our talk in joyous fellowship by demonstrating the power of love, compassion, and non-judgment every day in every way. Recognizing the divinity of all life, we stand united by actively liberating humanity by healing judgment, fear, and shame within ourselves. Our intention to create world peace, piece by piece. Woo! And now I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Magally for our God shot. Take it away.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. I am Reverend Magally, and I am actually so blessed to be here with you guys today to share a small teaching, a life experience. And I'd like to start by thanking Reverend Amina because her time to ask me for sharing with you guys is impeccable. I just went through a hard time, and let it be easy was what helped me go through things and come out shining. So what I wanted to share was that sometimes we face challenges, difficulty, and struggles within our life. And although we may know that God is with us, we don't always remember. Knowing doesn't exactly mean remembering. So I was placed in a position where I had to remember God is with me at all times. And I had to practice humility. I had to set aside my perspective, beliefs, thoughts, and really become one with God and ask God for help. I know God is always with me. I know I do nothing without God, but I forget. And sometimes we think our spiritual practice is linear, but it never is. We go through peaks and low times, and sometimes we forget to put our practice first. I was going through a lot of anxiety and worry to the point where I wake up and thoughts just come rushing of everything I have to do, I haven't done. And it was taking a toll on my health. And these were simple tasks that, unfortunately, for me, sometimes become difficult because of my vision loss. And sometimes I think I'm not enough. Now, I know a lot of us go through that. And we need to put that aside. And the way we do that is asking God for help. Sometimes we ask our friends, our family, our partners, but we forget that God is with us at all times. And we just have to remember that. So I started with a simple habit of sitting down as soon as I woke up and had these rush of thoughts. I did not think, I acted. I made myself a cup of tea, and I sat down to meditate. But sometimes meditation would just lead to more thoughts of what I haven't done. So I started listening to my spiritual teachers, just listening to simple, lessons and talks. And this grounded me, just sitting down and giving myself the time. And many of us worry, oh, I don't have time to give myself time. But it's a necessity. Sometimes we have wants, and necessities come first before those wants. And spiritual practice is everything. And the simple act of making a cup of tea and sitting down to meditate, to quiet the mind, to pray, really changes our perspective, changes our beliefs, our thoughts, even if it's just one perspective. I am enough. And this kind of led it to be easy, to be effortless. That's what letting it be easy means. Letting it be effortless and proceeding with gentleness. And I realized I had to put aside my judgment and practice self-compassion. And most of all, humility, the way of mastery, talks to us about humility, about knowing that without God, we do nothing. Without the source, we are nothing. And we come from source. We just have to remember that. So this practice continued, and just not forcing things really came easy. Really letting go, really letting God. So we got to let go and let God. And just one simple practice, whether it be the meditation, listening to a spiritual teaching, really can shift where our life is headed, where our mind is headed. So I invite you to examine what your practices are. And maybe some practice no longer serves us, something we've been doing, and we might have to take on a different path. I'm a coffee drinker, not a tea drinker, but I said, you know what, let me try something soothing and calming, and just the simple, mindful task of making something and being present really makes a difference in our lives, really makes a difference in that monkey mind and that anxiety and worry. And just letting it go and trusting in God is what helped me. So I invite you to set an intention, to let God, and to be humble. Practice that humility and trust in God. So I appreciate Amina coming in at the right time when this discovery of mine just happened to unfold. And I am very grateful that Inspire is here for me to fall back into and just be held and comforted and just lifted through community, through spirit. Thank you. Now, I believe Reverend Carlton is going to bless us with an amazing talk.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Reverend Magally. That was beautiful. And what a lead in to to what I have prepared to speak about. Yeah, you shared so much that was rich, and I'm trying to get my screen. There we go. So much of what you said, I'm sure many of us can relate. I also want to put you on gallery because I want to see everybody. Let me just take a look. There we go. It's so relatable, and I love this theme. First of all, thank you for inviting me again. I enjoy the sweetness of this space, and it's just always you're so welcoming, and again, like Reverend Magally shared, right on time. Especially with the theme, it's just so perfect for where I'm at in my own life, but also what I've been holding for my clients and students also. So let it be easy. So since I heard the theme, there's so many ways that we can play with that theme, but let it be. And of course, all week I'm singing let it be, speaking words of wisdom, right? I'm in it. And then easy, right? Easy like Sunday morning, right? Easy like Sunday morning. So how many of you have had an easy, like a Commodore's easy like Sunday morning? so far today. Yeah, I have. Um, and that used to have a whole other meaning years ago, so I'm not even gonna go there. But Easy Like Sunday morning is sweet, right? And even this morning, like there was I had, I had prepared the talk and was really putting into practical application what I'm speaking about today. And as I come down from my office, we're having a few people over this morning or later this afternoon. And I come down from my office this morning and my husband's, running around getting everything done. And here I am, I'm like centered, all enlightened and full of love. And he's like, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this. And I'm like, whoa, baby, slow it down, right? And we have the capacity to do that at any given moment. At any given moment, we have the capacity to be easy. Let it be easy. So it was just funny, and we'll talk more about how we get there in a few moments. But I just want to talk about let, right? The word let. The word let means to not prevent or forbid or to allow something to happen, to allow someone to do something by not doing anything against that, not doing or giving your permission. So we let, right? And easy is achieved without great effort, free from worries or problems. That's the definition, free from worries or problems. Who's got worries and problems? Right? We like to claim we don't, but we got worries and problems. And what I know is worry is a waste of time. Worrying is a waste of time, and problems are an opportunity to shift our perspective, right? Problems are opportunities to step up into a greater understanding, a greater awareness. So yes, we may have moments of worry or the appearance of problems, but you know what else we have? We have dominion. We have dominion. And this is what Reverend Magally, I think, was speaking to, is our dominion, that we have the opportunity to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our consciousness. And what we said yes to in the powerful metaphysicians that we are is to work in consciousness, right? We work in consciousness, we expand our awareness, we come back, we remember what is true and what is real. And then we practically apply from that place. And what we know is that form follows consciousness. So what we are creating, what we are holding in our awareness creates our reality. Yes? So what are we going to choose or allow or let occupy our mind? This is so important for us because this is how we create, right? We create through principle. I'm going to read a little bit from Ernest Holmes' Can We Talk to God? And let me just read with this and I'll go into it a little deeper. But this is from page 12, chapter 1. Consider the spirit as a warm, pulsating, reciprocal thing. It presses against us. It flows through us. It is our intelligence. It is a great universal urge and surge. It is a warm, colorful thing. It is a beautiful thing. It cannot be put into words. You can only feel it. But consider the law as a cold fact, nothing else. It has no motive of its own. It is just a power, a blind force, but it is an intelligent and executing and immutable force. The law is the servant of the spirit. Consider creation, whether it be the vast body of the cosmos or the suit of clothes or the dress we have on, as some effect of intelligence operating through law, and you have the whole proposition as clear as can be, that there is a power in the universe which knows, a law which does, a creation which corresponds. Now here, creation does not respond, it only corresponds. Not that it is what we mean to speak of, no, Now, that is what we mean when we speak of divine principle. Divine principle is not God any more than electricity is God. It is a law of God, just as electricity is a law of God. It is a mental law of cause and effect. When you impress your thought upon it, it is its nature to take that thought and execute it exactly as you think it. If there is destruction in the thought, it must destroy. If there is good in the thought, it will execute goodness or healing. This is the principle governing spiritual science. And unless such principle were, spiritual science could not be. That's Holmes. Now that there is something more than law, an intelligence to which we may come for inspiration, for guidance, for direction, a power responding to us, a presence pressing against us, an animation flowing through us, a light within us. This is how it works. There is a power that expresses and a law that serves. And our creation, what we put into it, there's a correspondence, and that is what we create. So we have the capacity and the dominion over what thoughts we are holding, what words we are speaking, what actions we are taking, our belief systems. And this is how, when we put that into the universe, we create our reality. So this is always happening, right? It's always happening, whether we're conscious of it, aware of it or not. Creation is always happening. We're creative beings. So this presence is unceasingly giving, unceasingly corresponding. And when we are present and intentionally connected, we get to observe and participate from our true nature. Just open this up a bit. So that's the way it works, right? That's we have the principle, we have all of these teachings that we're aware of, but then it does come to the practice, right? So we also have to remember that, you know, we can stay in this space of creating and staying in the, let's just call it the loftiness of our good intentions and our good thoughts. And we also have to remember that there is free will, that our human nature and our interactions with all the activities of life in the physical realm, we are conditioned in a way, right? And so we have the fight or flight, we have the survival instincts, we have all of our feelings, all of our emotions, all of the fear. So let's bring it back in to our dominion, right? What are we allowing and what are we putting out there? And how do we respond when those fears and the activities of life are taking place? How do we get to a place and become unified with truth and live by principle? Reverend Magally spoke to it, right? It's our practice. With our practice and the practical application of our teachings, when we center down, when we become present to the teachings and we make them personal, we take them on, then we get to create that shift. Then we get to expand in the truth. I'm going to read a little bit more of Holmes from Living the Science of Mind. And this is on page 169. Again, we're talking about dominion. You have dominion. With an understanding of this science, fear should disappear. And with direct application of this principle to your problems, you will discover that they will begin to seem less insistent. Begin to act as though you already had dominion over fear, as though all fear were a phantom, and as though everything you have been afraid of were unreal. Declare the truth by saying there is nothing to be afraid of, that you no longer entertain any images of fear, that good is the only power there is, that this good, which is the only power there is now operating in your affairs. Know that God is omnipotent. Know that the truth instantly, effectively, and permanently destroys every fear and every effect of fear. Know that you are governed by infinite intelligence. Know that you are directed by divine guidance, and that you are compelled to think and act constructively. Therefore, you may know that everything you do, say, or think carries with it a divine authority. Freedom already exists, but your freedom is in your own thought. Hence, it is not enough to say God is free, which of course is a true statement, but this statement must be made personal. The freedom of God is my freedom. The power of God is my power. The presence of God is in me. The mind of God is my mind. The strength of God is my strength. And the joy of God is my joy. This is the powerful practice. This is the practical application of taking these principles. We have these powerful spiritual principles, and yet when it's talking about God, if God and I are one, if I am an emanation of this presence, then what is true about God is true about me. So if God is freedom, then God is the freedom as my life. Making it personal is everything. So I invite you to take on principle and take a principle that really works for you or what you're working with in your life and really put your name in it. Put your name in it. Feel that. This is the practical application of of our of these teachings. For me, I didn't really come up with the theme for or the topic until yesterday, but for me, I'm going to use the same language that Ernest Holmes was just using. The beauty of God is my beauty. And so I have often my prayer requests and working with my prayer partner, one of our probably once a week comes up. Today, my prayer request is easy, breezy, beautiful, right? And I know we could take that further and be joyful with the CoverGirl slogan, easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl. And yes, at times I have walked around in that energy and it makes me feel light. It makes me feel joyous. It makes me feel like tossing that hair back and walking in that breeze, right? And so easy, breezy, beautiful is just a simple of affirmation for me to bring me back to that truth that the beauty of God is my beauty. And I just don't mean physical beauty. I mean the creative process, the beauty that is God, the beauty that expresses itself through all nature, through all science, through all technology, through every living being. That's beauty. And that beauty is the very essence of my life. And when I'm participating from that place and I'm seeing life from that energy, everything else opens up. Regardless of what condition I am in at the moment, we have dominion. We have dominion on how we get to respond, right? So recently, a friend of mine, my friend Shay, was she needed to have a procedure, and she wanted me to. Well, she was telling me about it, and I offered to go. She lives in Austin, Texas, and I offered to go and support her, to be present with her, and while she recovered, and she has a little girl, and so just to be there for her. And when I got there, um, and I there was a certain thing that she had to undergo under this procedure. It was an ablation, a heart ablation. And when I got there, she wasn't having any of the I think they're PCPs. I'm probably getting the words wrong, the medical jargon wrong. But whatever was taking place, as soon as I walked in the room, there was no longer happening. And yes, I'd like to say that it was my presence that healed her, and it very well could have been. But what I know is that when two or more come together and agree, the right order takes place, divine guidance takes place. And so she no longer needed to have this procedure. So she checked out, and we went and changed that week that was going to be for her to recover to a vacation. right? So we said no ablation vacation. And we got to be easy breezy and beautiful with that whole week. But what I came to realize during that week was that the last few years, and granted with pandemic and all of the things that have taken place, and I'm working from my office more, and really the busyness of my life and the trajectory of ministry has really taken most of my attention, a majority of my attention, and and I forgot. I forgot about the little things that bring me joy, the little things that I like to participate in. My music, the way I dress, the little activities, that the simple pleasures of life that really what's the word? This made me expand in my being. That I wasn't participating in those things, and being around my best friend in person for a week without any pressure opened that up to me. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't do that anymore. Why don't I do that? So I set the intention to really start participating in those things that bring me joy, to remember, to play that music, to be open to new music, to wear the clothes that make me feel good, to participate in life with joy being the intention, the priority. That's a spiritual practice. That is a spiritual practice of really taking care of yourself in a particular way and participating in the things that bring you joy. It opens you up, right? So after, in setting that intention, all of a sudden it felt like all sorts of things that bring me joy, things from my past, all of the different friends, all of the ways that I participated in my life up until now, that felt like there was this integration that took place, right? And so I could give you a number of experiences, but there's two in particular. We went to Maui. My husband and I took my mother to Maui. We were just there Mother's Day week, and there was an opportunity for me to just be open. There was some activity that was taking place, and I intentionally said to myself, let me just be open to the joy of this particular experience. And when I did that, I was introduced to a particular type of music. And it was a Hawaiian artist, Kalili Rachel, and the name of the song was Mauna Leo. And it has been a long time since this happened to me, but it hit my soul. It touched my soul in a way that I can't even explain. There weren't any real words, but I was tearful from it. And that song has been with me since I heard it on Mother's Day, since I heard it. And it is my go-to. It is my practice. It is my easy breezy energetic. So when I was feeling a particular kind of energy over the last couple of weeks, I remembered this song and I played the song, and it expanded the way that I was responding to the particular energies that I was working with. Some of them challenging, some of them frustrating, but I had a go-to that brought me to that. We have the capacity to do this. We have dominion over our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions. We want to create that affirming statement. We want to have that piece of music. We want to know that particular reading that brings us truth. We want to have so many things that remind us to remember the truth. Thank you, Reverend Magally. So remembering. So I'm going to tell you two more. The other thing that took place is for our LGBT meeting this month, I got to invite a guest on who is from my past. We used to do drag together. She's an amazing entertainer, Meyer Douglas. She's won all sorts of national pageants. But she came on to talk about the triumphs and the challenges still that we have in our community. And again, integration took place. This is the things that took place in my past. and who I am in this present. And we got to open the field to our guests. And there was such a flow of intelligence that took place because we opened up, because I was present to the joy of my life in a particular way, and it served the higher good. And then one other one is, again, from my past and my musical theater past. There was I was part of this youth group and I used to sing and we did all these songs and we had a reunion 30 some odd years later. And, all of us older now getting up on stage and participating in this particular way. All of a sudden, that very next day, on Sunday, after that Saturday meeting, the director of our old youth group contacted me and invited me to come to Rochester again to sing the song that I called my song, but to sing the song in a new event in a new show. And again, that was just the demonstration of what brings me joy by setting that intention and being open to that. The demonstration of it takes place. So all of that to say that we have the ability to create a practice and to create and to have all manners of resources to support us, to let life be easy. And even in those challenging times. So no, I'm not going to deny or negate that there's some, there's difficult situations that take place. There's hard times, there's traumatic times, there's even times where it's devastating, and we still have the ability to respond. When we exercise dominion, when we allow ourselves to be present with what's up in that moment, we create a space. We become still. We center down, like Reverend Magally was speaking to, that we have our tea, we get still. Whatever that practice is for the individual, we get to be still, present in it, and allow. When we lean into the truth that there is a power in the universe which knows, a law which does, and the creation which corresponds, there is space that is made that eases the intensity of that particular situation. So then we get to see from that expanded awareness. And for me, that expanded awareness is the easy breezy, beautiful space. It's that gentle breeze of the Aloha spirit with the music. We become present to the presence. And that's always available. So I'm gonna end with another reading. And this is from Howard Thurman. It's from For the Inward Journey, page 93. How good it is to center down. How good it is to center down, to sit quietly and see oneself pass by. The stress of our minds seethe with endless traffic. Our spirits resound with clashings, with noisy silences. While something deep within hungers and thirsts for the still moment and the resting lull. With full intensity we seek ere the quiet pace passes. A fresh sense of order in our living. A direction, a strong, sure purpose that will structure our confusion and bring meaning to our chaos. We look at ourselves in this waiting moment, the kinds of people we are. The question persists, what are we doing with our lives? What are the motives that order our days? What is the end of our doings? Where are we trying to go? Where do we put the emphasis and where are our values focused? For what end do we make sacrifices? Where is my treasure and what do I love most in life? What do I hate most in life? And to what am I true? Over and over, the questions beat in upon the waking moment, and we listen, floating up through all the jangling echoes of our turbulence. There is a sound of another kind, a deeper note, which only the stillness of the heart makes clear. It moves directly to the core of our being. Our questions are answered, our spirits refreshed, and we move back into the traffic of our daily round with the peace of the eternal in our step. How good it is to center down. Let it be easy, easy, breezy, beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Reverend Carlton. That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Maui, Hawaii, my happy place. It's that aloha spirit is so powerful. And I love that you can recall it and bring it back to you, when you need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just speak to that one real quickly. There is a my mom feels this. Oh, yeah, my mom feels the same way. Is that like I don't know if anyone's been to Maui, but there's an energy for me. There's an energy in Maui, and it's like as soon as I get off the plane, as soon as I'm in that little passageway that goes from the terminal down to where you check your baggage, there is a breeze in the air. There is a feeling in my body. There is an awareness that just takes place, and to me, that is absolutely capturing the aloha spirit. And there's even I'll even go as far to say there's and it's not the physical energy, but it could be. There's a sexiness. There's a richness and intimacy in my body that I feel from that energy, and I just invite us all to be really mindful when you feel that energy. Like when you feel something's right, make a note of that because that's your go-to. And when you have that, you can bring that forward in those moments. So the other day, when I was walking my dogs, I was feeling anything but that. Right? I was feeling anything but that feeling. And I stopped myself and I went, oh, you're not really feeling that aloha spirit now, are you, Carlton? And as soon as I said that, I went, well, let me see. And I thought about that piece of music and I thought about the way I feel. And in that moment, walking through, I looked up, the trees were moving a little bit. I was like, there it is. There it is. It's possible. We have the capacity to tap into that. So I invite, make a note of those things that feel right. Have them ready and apply them. It works.
Yeah, thank you. It really does work. Yeah, I'm gonna open up for questions in a second, but what's coming to me is, we have all of these tools, and sometimes a lot of us have more tools, like how do you pick one? But sometimes I feel, and I know this from clients too, it's like I know that this would help me, but I don't want to. I don't feel like it. What do we do in those moments to move through that resistance?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just speak to it then. You give yourself permission to have that resistance. So I don't feel like it. Okay, then don't feel like it. What do you feel like? You want to go ahead. For me, I'm very present with myself. I have a little sassiness to it, but go ahead and be mad if you want to be mad. You're angry. Go ahead and be angry. You don't want to do it. Don't do it. As soon as we give ourselves that permission, as soon as we open up the space and create that, really being present with ourselves, something shifts. It may not be the thing that we need to do that's annoying us in that moment, but there's room for solution, there's room for creation, there's room for an expanded opportunity of something else that's going to serve us. Or you might just need to sit and be still and not do anything in that moment. But I think the biggest thing is giving yourself permission, but also being interested. Being interested. All right, I'm experiencing resistance. What's that about? Like, what is that about? And as soon as we pay attention to it, it starts to diminish, and it will reveal. If it has something, it will reveal itself. If it doesn't have anything, it'll fall away.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So does anyone else have any questions for Reverend Carlton? If you do, use the raise hand feature. Okay. Annis, go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. Thank you again, Reverend Carlton. That was exquisite, and I appreciate you very much and your message.
Thank you.
And
It's
I
good to
just-
see you again.
You too. Yes, indeed. That last quote that you read, that you started, how good it is to center down, and you named the author, but I didn't catch that. So if you
Howard
wouldn't mind-
Thurman.
Howard Thurman?
Howard Thurman. Yep.
Okay.
And it's
okay.
from the book For the Inward Journey. Yeah, I highly suggest having this in your library. This is the same. I want to be more loving in my heart.
Mhm.
The moments of high resolve. So amazing work.
Well, that was a great quote and great explanation. And I said when I first heard it, I said, "Oh, that sounds like a title for a poem." Anyway, thanks again for the lovely message today. Appreciate you.
My joy.
Thank you, Annis. Well, that was fabulous. And again, we thank you, Reverend Carlton, and just appreciate your presence and your wisdom. And you get to the heart of it with such ease. We really just very grateful for your sharing.
Thank you.
So, folks, we will take this moment now to be in the flow of giving and receiving. And if you love this community, if you would like to see us continue, if this feeds your soul, please consider sharing with Inspire, making a donation. You can visit inspirespiritualcommunity.org/donate, or you can go to the email that you received, and there is a button there. You can click straight through to the website. But we do appreciate and value, and not that we need, but we need your support. So please help us stay operational. Let us be in the flow of giving and receiving, and we'll just remember that everything we give to God. Everything we receive from God. And so we're grateful and appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving with a generous and open heart. And just to wrap up, we will ask Reverend Carlton to give us a closing prayer.
My joy. So we just start in a space of gratitude. Just grateful for all that has led up to this moment, and grateful for this moment right now. Grateful for the Inspire community and the resounding yes, answering the call to support communities, to support these teachings in this particular way. Grateful for each one here that has said yes, the devotion and the commitment to being present in a collective consciousness. Grateful to be alive, awake, aware. Grateful to be grateful. So much to be grateful for in this life. So it is in the spaciousness of gratitude that we open our hearts in the recognition of a power and a presence, a radiance, a love intelligence, a source that supplies unceasingly giving of itself, this love intelligence that we call God, an absolute, infinite, eternal presence that is, and it is all that there is. Omnipresence itself, omnipotent, omniscient, omniactive, omniamorous, the one love, the one power, God and only God. And knowing that this presence is never absent, that it expresses itself everywhere, I know that it is the very essence of my life, that I am one with God, that the nature of this loving presence is the very nature of my being. And in knowing this truth for myself, I know the same for each one here, each one an emanation of the one. Radiant source energy revealing itself in the most perfect, whole, complete way. As each of us, as the one of us, there is only one. So it is in this unified field of awareness that we celebrate the realization of our oneness in God, knowing that we are divinely sourced, divinely guided, divinely supported in always, knowing the abundant nature of the universe is the very essence of each of us, that there is a perfect order to the unlimited creative flow of intelligence that is always taking place. And so as we open our hearts to that truth, we allow, we let the grace and flow of divine creation express fully, effortlessly, easily, as each of us, as the one of us. Let it be easy. It already is happening. So it is in the coming together of this particular configuration of sweet souls that we magnify this truth, that we magnify the presence as our life, as our loving, as all that we participate in. This is what is happening now. So we give great thanks. We give great thanks for all that has taken place on this day. We give great thanks for the opportunity to be contagious with this love energetic and allow it to touch all that we come in contact with, all that we participate in. And as we are contagious, as we lift all that we participate in, we are lifted. We rise in love and celebrate the glory and the goodness of the divine as our very lives. This is what is happening now. So again, giving great thanks, we just release. We release the word into a living, loving law, calling it so. And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Carlton.
My
Thank you,
joy.
Reverend Magally. Thank you, Reverend Thomas. Thank you, everyone, for your presence, your energy, your love, your light, your beauty, your brilliance, your wisdom. We are so, so grateful.
Thank you,
Let
Amina.
it be easy. Have a
Absolutely.
wonderful rest of your day and weekend, and we will see you back on June 25th. In the meantime, enjoy Pride, enjoy your life, and let it be easy. We love
Right
you.
on. Thank you,
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.